that were tortured, and many of them killed. 12,000 were burned. I learned that when I was in Vimioso from Dr. Elvira Mia and Dr. Lucia Ferreira yesterday said 30,000 or more that were tried. I heard numbers into 38,000, 40,000, 44,000. Different scholars have given different numbers, but we are not talking about the blood of one person. We are talking about the blood of many that is screaming, and the live descendants and the victims of the Inquisition are still alive. We went last year, and we went the year before that, to villages in Tras dos Montes. We went to Belmonte. We went to Tomar. We went to other places, and we met the people in these villages and in these places that are still practicing in hiding the Passover. Still afraid to say that they are Jews. One man that we met in a little village of Algozelo said, yes, so Judeo, so Judeo, so Judeo. His wife said, no, don't talk that way. You are lying. But when I asked her, where did she come from? She says, our family came from Jerusalem. A little simple country woman that probably never left that village, never went too far from that village. Yesterday, Father Victor Melicias presented the official line of the church, of the Catholic Church. So I asked him on the way out, I said, Father Melicias, I thought you were one of the most outspoken priests in Europe today. How come you were so political? He said, I had to be because I was asked to present the official line of the Catholic Church, but this is not my opinion. I have a different opinion. Well, I am not representing any church, any denomination. I don't have to be political.
Amen. Amen.
I don't have to hide behind my cloak or my dog collar or to be under the shadow of the cross. As a Jew that is a disciple of Yeshua, I have to ask myself, what are the theological elements that allowed people that claim to believe the Bible to do what they did, and not only one time, and not in the Inquisition only. It's the Inquisition and the pogroms and the Crusades and the blood libels that started in York, England in 1475, before the expulsion of the Jews from Spain, and in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine and Poland and Belarus and Latvia and Lithuania, where the Jews were killed, raped, robbed by so-called Christians. It doesn't make difference if they're Catholic or if the Greek Orthodox or Russian Orthodox or if they're Protestants. It's by Christians. What are the elements? And the first element that caused that was a bad hermeneutic. A bad hermeneutic, which means a bad way to read the Bible. What do I mean by this? The Bible is a historical text. It claims to be an historical text. If you take it out of its context in history, you can make anything you want. You can make feijoada brasileira from it if you want to. Yeah. Because the words and the events and the times and the chronology no longer mean anything. it's called spiritualizing in modern Christian circles. You spiritualize the text, which means that you take it out of its natural setting and you make out of it anything you want to be. I have lots of examples in Brazil, as much as any. I will give you an example. In 1981, I had a phone call at around 11 o'clock at night. And my first cousin, who was a lawyer in Bulgaria, called me at 11 o'clock at night. He hadn't called me for many, many years. He hadn't talked to me or written to me many, many years. I haven't heard from him. I imagine I'm not the only one who has cousins that call you only when they need something. So he called me and said, "Listen, Joseph, it's my birthday next month, and I wonder if I could get you to buy me a gift. You can buy me either an airplane, a model airplane, or a model boat. And we can go to eat either in a Greek restaurant together or in Casa Italiana." At first I thought, what happened to him? Did he go crazy? Because I know it's not his birthday next month. I know when his birthday is. But I immediately understood he wants to get out of Bulgaria. The KGB is after him. And he wants to get out from Bulgaria either through Greece or through Italy, either by boat or by plane. He didn't say that to me. But because I knew the person and I knew the context in which he is living under communism in Bulgaria in 1981, I understood what he's talking about. And the same thing is true with reading any material. Whether it's a comic book or a newspaper, you have to know what is the historical circumstance, the facts around the text. Even poetry, that is usually not so historical, sometimes has to have a historical context, otherwise you can't understand what the person is talking about. Even in the book of Psalms, sometimes you read the heading over the Psalms, when David was running away from Saul, he wrote this. The Bible is an ancient document, written in a faraway place, in a different language, in a different historical context, and if you don't put the Bible back into its natural setting, it loses its real meaning. Then you can fill it with anything that you want to fill it. So bad hermeneutic, taking the Bible out of its context, spiritualizing historical events, taking mythical events and making them into a history, reversing the order, and ignoring the chronology. All of these things which people should be learning in elementary school, the church hasn't learned. The church has been specializing in making history into mythology and making mythology into history. And that's the basis of many of the doctrines that the church has created. Both Catholic churches and Protestant churches, none of them are exempt. That's how all the Marioliturgy that is spreading anew now in the Christian world is coming from mythology. I take sometimes students, international students, to Greece Greece, to Italy, to Turkey, Israel, to teach them. And when we go to Rome, we go to the Bath of Caracalla.